Welcome once again for the online class, children. Let us continue the chapter, that is chapter 2, Federalism. And in this chapter, we will be learning about the exact balance of power between the center and the state government. That means balance of power, the power what is supplied from the center to the state. We will be seeing power between the center and the state government. Now who is the center here? Center means the president, prime minister and the council of minister. They are at the central level, and from there the state means our state head, CM, governor and all. They are the state government leaders and they see the state. So the balance of power, extract balance of power between the center and the state government. Now, which state we belong, children? We belong to Chhattisgarh state. But here center means who is in the center? The president, prime minister and the council of ministers. They are at the central level. The exact balance of power between the center and the state government varies from one federation to the another. Federation are formed in two ways. The first type, state come together on the basis on their own to form a bigger unit, and they have equal power and are equally strong. Vice versa, the federal government means as same. They are coming together so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity, they can increase their security. That is, USA, Switzerland, Australia are coming together federalism. No, so here who are they? They are USA, Switzerland and Australia are coming together federalism. In the second type, the central government tends to be more powerful. Vice versa, the state means equal. Here a large country decide to divide its power between the constituent state and the national government. India, Spain and Belgium are the example of holding together federalism. Then federal system versus unitary system. The level of federal government enjoy their power independent of each other. In this sense, federalism are concerned with unitary government. Under the unitary system, either there is one level of government or the subunit of subordinate to the central government. The central government cannot pass the order to the state government to do something. Here what it says, the central government passes an order to the provincial or to the local government in order to the state government do not do something. The state government has power to its own for which it is not answerable to the central government. That means some powers are there for the state government and that is no need of answerable to the central government. Maybe some powers, but both the government are separately answerable to the people. So central government also has to answer, plus the state government also answer to the people. Now, what makes India a federal country? Here let us see what makes India a federal country. India has emerged an independent nation after painful and bloody partition. The constitution declared India as a union of the state. Here the constitution means Indian constitution, has declared India as a union of the state. In India, union is based on the principles of federalism. So Union has based on the principle of federalism. Now, two types of government. In the flowchart, last video we have seen the constitution originally provide a two-tier system of government. First is what? The union government or the central government, and second is what? The state government. So they are the two-tier systems of the government. Now, three-tier system of government. A third tier of federalism was added later in the form of panchayats and municipalities. So, what is the first tier? That is the central. Second tier is what? The state. And later on, the third tier of federalism was added later in the form of panchayats and municipalities. The Constitution clearly provides the threefold distribution of legislative power between the union government and the state government. It contains three lists. First is what? The union list, second is the state list, and third is the concurrent list. It includes union list. It includes subject of national importance like defense, foreign affairs, banking, communications, and currencies as well. We need a uniform politics on their matter throughout the country. The union government alone can make law relating to the subject mentioned in the union list. So here union list can make laws regarding to the subject mentioned in the union list. Now let us see the state list. State list means talking about the state. It contains subject of state and local importance like police, trade, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. So they will be seeing on the state. The state government alone can't make laws regarding the subject mentioned in the state list. So whatever the state problem, so that can be the government alone can make laws relating to the subject mentioned in the state list. Now concurrent list, it includes subjects of common interest to both the union and the state like education, forest, trade union, marriage, adoption, successor. Both the union and the state government can make law of their own subject. If the laws conflict with each other, the law made by the union government will be privileged. The leftover subjects like computer software that comes up after the constitution was made are known as residential subject. Union government has the power to legislate on their resistory subject. Special status of Jammu and Kashmir. Children, according to this book, we are teaching, or I have taken the paragraph, but at present there is a change, the special status for Jammu and Kashmir, that you have to know. Not like this book, but at present there was a change, and we will be seeing this subject in the class. But because the book what is provided, it tells about that time, but here present there is a change. All states in India do not enjoy the same power. States like Jammu and Kashmir enjoy a special status and have their own constitution. Many province of India constitution are not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is applicable. State of Jammu and Kashmir without the provincial of the state assembly. Residents of other state of India cannot buy land or house in their state. Similarly, provision exists from some other state of India as well. But there is a change in Jammu and Kashmir. The law has been changed little. The status of union territories. There are some units of Indian Union which enjoy a very little power. These are the area which are too small to become an independent state, but which cannot be merged with any other existing state. These areas are like Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Delhi are called the union territories. What are they called? What? Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Delhi are called the union territories. These territories do not have the power of the state. The central government has special power in running this state. So here which state, that is Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Delhi are the union territories. These territories do not have their power of the state. The central government has special power in running this state. So this is the status of union territories, and we have seen what all. Let us see once again. Heading we can see system of government. There are two types of two-tier system. That is the union government or the central government or the state. 2 points are here. We can just see what makes the India a federal country. That also we have seen. And federal system versus unitary system. This also we have seen. And extract balance of power between the center and the state. We have seen in the this videos. And children, tomorrow we can see in the next video, and we will continue the chapter. That's all. Thank you.